Back to Streamline Entertainment Messages, people. Thank you for your input. As we do look into a few cases at the moment, still looking into the Jack O'Sullivan case, Jay Slater, of course, this case goes on. We're just waiting for the documentaries to come out. And also Miss Lily and Jack Sullivan as well, which is a very big case too, and many more that people want us to look into as well. Tonino goes, does anyone know if Marvin has done a reaction to Bobs and Bits? Yes, I did. It wasn't that long ago, to be honest. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago now. I did actually do a video on Bobs and Bits and what he was saying in his story about the case, the Jay Slater case being rug related. It is out there. What I'll do is I will reply the video what it's on, so you can have a look at that. Tonino. Rachel says, I think Abe would have told police that he knew Jay and he wanted to come back to continue the party, which was then backed up by the friends with the subsequent messages and phone calls. No way would he have said he had just met him. This is why they let him go. And I've said before, when they created the cover story, it was to present it to the family and the police. They never believed it would blow up like it did. The cover story will not create to present Sky News and alike. The story then starts to change. They now have to convince millions of people of this story, and it started to crack. Very true, Rachel, because they continue to sort of mock the case as well, and which was really, really horrible to see. But like I said, they're really getting their comeuppance now because people are still talking about the case and picking holes in it. Dawn Williamson, another good video, Marvin. I agree with you. Mike Neville is saying, yeah, I thought you made some brilliant points. Thank you, Dawn, for your support. And Rachel. Dean says, for someone we know the Bristol area well, why did she pronounce Flaxburton? Anybody that lives here knows that it's pronounced Flaxburton. Strange. Yeah, very, very true. Thank you for bringing that up, Dean. SDF, I watched Peter Hyde's video. It was a very good, I think. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I thought that SDF, I think the way he breaks things down and breaks down people's statements is unbelievable. And he's very easy to understand and in what points he's actually getting at as well. Julie, how you doing? Someone has left out that Lucy Maylor is Tom Hilton's girlfriend on podcast comments, plus leaked text from Lucy to her mum saying, I had to give Jay to them. Yeah, very, very true. And sometimes these messages get pushed because they were very early on, Julie. They get pushed to the back. And like I said, these messages are crucial, even the small things. That's a very good point. Thank you for that. Sean says, I look at Brandon and he looks like a Johnny Vegas, especially being northern and thick set. Yeah, but like I said, I always imagine the Johnny Vegas character being a bit of a cheeky chap. Even though Brandon looks like him, I still think that this Jonathan Atanda is more like, who fits the bill to me of the Johnny sort of Vegas character with money and gold and watches and stuff like that, and the way he carries himself as a bit of a bad boy. Samantha, why go looking for the Airbnb rather than go to his location? Yeah, it never made sense. Never made sense, Samantha, what she was saying. Even his mum, Debbie, Jay's mum, said, why didn't Lucy go to the point when Jay needed help? That never made sense to her either. Samantha goes on to say, why did she say before you fall and die, not fall and get hurt? Yeah, I think, Sam, I think she knew something that Jay had already passed, and she's trying to sort of fake it out and change a narrative that she hopes the public would agree with. Colette says, thank you, Marvin. You're doing a great job for Justice for Day. There are a load of liars, but it will all be revealed. Yes, it will. Thank you, Colette, for your support. No doubt. Colette goes on to say, I thought she said that Jay thought he was going to die and lay in a ditch, cut by a cactus. Yeah, I think she said a few things down the line. It's with Lucy. because, like I said, she's trying, much like Abe, to keep this lie going and keep to the narrative. I think they strategically change a few things just to, make it stick a little bit more. And I mean, it did a job, to be honestly, with the online news and reporters out there who believed everything that they'd been told. It's only when you look back at this case you actually think there's something not quite right here. I need to look deeper into this. And like I said, there are a lot of people who are doing their own podcast on this who haven't really got a clue, to be honest with you. And, Wax was listening to one the other day, and I thought you made some brilliant points in that you need to, the people who are doing these podcasts and blaming slews, they need to look at the characters involved into why Jay disappeared. Caroline says no one's seen him because he was never there. Thank you, Caroline. It's exactly simple as that. They want to believe is that he was at that Airbnb. Liar. Yeah, that's a very, very good point. Thank you, Deborah. My exact words about her. Rachel says, I think what we have to remember is that when they put together the cover story, it was to present a story to the family and the police. Very, very true. The media wouldn't have crossed their mind at that point. They never thought the story would blow up the way it did, and all news outlets turn up in Tenerife. The cover story was never created for this. You're right. In the beginning, they only had to convince the family and the police. All of a sudden, it's on every news channel in the UK. A lot harder to convince millions of people. This IMO, where the problem started, and with Lucy's interview. She was the first of friends to do an interview and the first to provide any details, and also confusion when she called Abe and Rocky strangers. It drew more attention to the situation. Maybe that was her plan. Who knows? But I don't think Abe told the police that he didn't know Jay. Why would he? Would have, yeah, he's my mate, and we came back to party. They had already been drinking together on the strip, so they had been seen together. I think that they told police is different what they said on TV. I'm still not convinced Abe was at the Airbnb nor Rocky. That's why Lucy said strangers. Interesting stuff. I do believe that Abe was actually taking pictures of the Airbnb and had been up there before. But like I said, it's mad that we didn't get any footage of Abe inside that Airbnb. Everything was taken outside, which is quite bizarre. Thank you for that, Rachel. Joy Wing, Peter knew what went down. He's an excellent analyst. Just listen to his summarization. She knew. Yeah, 100%. I think she knew that Jay would pass. And like I said, she was worried just in case Debbie realised that something was seriously wrong. I think what she tried to do, Lucy, in the early days was to try to convince the family, like someone else said. Just drink my orange juice, people. Joy Wing goes on to say, Marvin, she could have cleared every bit of doubt surrounding the case. She got defensive when questioned later, once she was out of Tenerife, and once they all got cocky and disrespectful of Jay's death. The main people involved were taking the pee at every opportunity. Yeah. And this is why they deserve to go to prison. It was bang out of order, taking, the mick out of someone who's passed, and it was a young 19-year-old lad. That was bang out of order. And these were his friends, or supposedly people he was with. Just don't make sense to me how someone can treat someone like that. Joy Wing, why didn't she just get a taxi to Jay's location, not the police station? Odd. Yeah. Another one who said that, which is bizarre. Colin Waterman, my guess, Lucy stated that Jay was missing, as she knew he wasn't going to be found alive. Definitely, that a search wouldn't have happened straight away. By stating Jay was lost would possibly have the police to go to the location straight away, even for a quick search. Yeah, and so her job was done because she reported it and wanted the police to go there. But I think Lucy knew. Why should Lucy panic? I think she knew he was imminently going to die for the people he was with, or he was already dead. It's just as simple as that. Colin Waterman, the question that still don't make sense. at all is, why did Lucy report Jay as missing? Why didn't she tell the police that my friend is lost in the mountains? I've got his location. Can you help me find him, etc.? It would have been morning, so would have been able to see, okay, etc. That's a very, very good point. I think when she put in that initial report in, Colin, I think she panicked. I don't think she was thinking straight. And like I said, that's why she got on the blower to her mum in what to do. I think she talked to her mum before she talked to Debbie, Rachel, or whoever back then. Rachel said to bide some time. She knew they wouldn't start searching for 24 hours. It hadn't even been 24 minutes. If she said my friend is on the mountains injured, she search and rescue would have been deployed. Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you, Rachel. Why is Lena Battelle radio silent? Nobody seems to be able to get hold of her. I've tried, Ali's tried, Wax has tried, Duncan's tried, and many others have tried. I believe it was definitely the one I put basically in the messages of that Lena Battelle, that she was a dancer and she was 100% out there at that time, and Ali Harris done the work on that. What happened to the British Embassy? She told she had contacted them for assistance, and then that should be logged. Good point, Pinky Pup, that should be logged. Her phone record showed that Jay didn't call her and wake her up. She called him, apparently. But like I said, she can't prove that because she's deleted all the evidence. James says, where's the evidence of this? Well, she talked to Haley Comet in messages and said that she deleted all the records that she had of people. She didn't think it was relevant. How surprising. Pinky Pep showed her a call record to Haley Comet so she would have it, one of her lives recording, I am sure. Yeah, another lie by Lucy. So what time did Jay call her? Was it around 8:30 or 8 o'clock? Because she said she hadn't slept. She had that call at 8 o'clock. She couldn't lie straight in bed, that girl. She could lost. That's a good one. That's an excellent one, Jax. I like that. Madeline Post, how are you doing? Thanks, Marvin, for sharing these important videos about the effects of ketamine, one of the rugs destroying bodies and life. Oliver tells us a detailed facts about how dangerous ketamine really is. Yeah, I was really shocked, and how it has affected his body. It's heartbreaking and very alarming. Oliver's story is a warning, especially on young. Absolutely stay away from ketamine, so that you, Oliver, is informing us. Another very dangerous rug is fentanyl, 100 times stronger than morphine, and overdose is deadly. The big rug business is a global issue. If so many youngs are affected, what kind of future do we get, as the young should take over after us? Yeah, great. Thank you, Madeleine Post. George says, into the recording she nearly let slip, stops herself saying ABBA abandoned, missing and very like abandoned. She always sets reciting her version of events, almost to the point of she's finding it hard, difficult to speak, and uncomfortable with it too. Yeah, what she's trying to do, she's trying to memorize her lie of what she's been told to do. Blah blah blah. She's so full of shite, it's unbelievable. Lol. She don't give it a shite. They are a bunch of con merchants. Yeah, Gemma. We can all read this. Very much so, and it's awful that the police, hadn't arrested these people. Why don't they offer reward out of the GoFundMe money? You'd be surprised what people will do for £1 a note. Bunch of liars. Gemma, you're right. I think many people have said money talks in this case. Her parents must be in the drug business, Mum. What parents would let their 16-year-old do what she does, and after this, she's back out again? She's under 18. Yeah, that's the truth. They are in the game. I think some people have done some homework on them, and there are videos out there from way back who technically confirm it. Thank you, Sherry. Mary Smith, of course, they're going to put their phone down on her. She was ringing the wrong emergency number. She should know what is. She's there loads of times to Tenerife. Yeah, she's been there loads of times. So why isn't she ringing the correct number? Because I think she panicked and she couldn't get her story straight. And when you're lying, things tend to come out that basically it shows that you're fabricating something. Mike Jakes, and she said she left the venue alone. So where was her bodyguard, Brandon? So if she's saying she was alone, this means Brandon or others were with her. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I just think she actually left the club and was just hanging about, knowing what was going to happen to Jay, because she was part of the setup. Pre-loved bargain. And Antique says karma, then what? Well, look, this woman got her karma because, like I said, for this horrible man, Ryland Headley, doing his time at 92, and he's going to die in prison. And like I said, because he thought he got away with it and said he believed that this is a mistake. So what comes around goes around. If you harm people, I always think that you'll get your comeuppance. Joanna Cardwell, hang on a minute, didn't she say she rang the police and they kept putting the phone down in her statement? So MWC actually said that. I heard those words coming out of her mouth. I mean, what's going on? Yeah. Do you know what, Joanna? She just can't keep her story straight. The nerves in that girl's voice, I wouldn't be nervous trying to help my mate. Yeah, well, you would tell him everything from day one. And you would continue to come out. Thank you, Ming. You would continue to come out as well and fight for justice for your friend. I would be on TV every day. If it was a family member or friend that went missing, I would be on the TV news every day asking for answers. This is someone who's fighting for a friend, not the ones who just basically hangs outside the funeral waiting to be invited in, whereas you look guilty as hell, both Brandon and Lucy. James says, why can't Lucy answer questions that the public have? She was the one who set up the GoFundMe. You don't set up a GoFundMe and ask the public for money and then refuse to answer any questions. Seems very, very odd. That's a brilliant, brilliant question, James. Thank you. The Weaver, this is a strong possibility that a Class A got to keep hydrated, or you could have got sick and passed. The two Stooges panicked as they supplied him, panicked and chucked him in the ravine, possibly drinking and caning. It can be dodgy combo. Yeah, definitely. This is my point. We cannot write this off. This is some obviously fishy going on, but you don't have to talk a lot. Well, they do, not me. So thank you very much, Sherry, Crazy Cat, Peach AM, Johnny, The Weaver, Ming, James, Joanna, Pre-Love Bargain, and Antiques, Mike Jakes, Mary Smith, Sherry, Gemma, George, Madeleine Post, thank you for that, Jax, Pinky Pup, thank you for your support, been with me a while now, James, Rachel Chadwick, been with me a while, Colin, thank you, been with me a while, Joy Wing, thank you very much for your support, been with me a while, Rachel again, Deborah, Caroline, Colette, both been with me a while, thank you, Samantha, nice to hear from you, Sean's been there ages, thank you for your support, Sean, Julie, been with me a while, STF, been with me a while, Dean, how you doing, Dawn Williamson, Rachel Chadwick, and Tornillo. Respect you all. Thank you very much for all your support. We move on. Much more videos to come. And near the weekend we are, aren't we? Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. We're trying to hit the 7,000 mark. So get your friends and family members to support the channel and subscribe. Thank you.